Trump says, I want to give an automatic green card to the best of Indian students who are going to the greatest schools, who are going to the phenomenal schools. He mentions Harvard and MIT and all the greatest schools. What's on his mind here, and why is he doing this?
Well, there's a global race for talent, and talent is always going to go to where the best opportunities are available. My point of view is quite simple, is that, the US has always been considered the land of opportunity in the West. Why aren't we looking at India as the land of opportunity in the East? And what are we doing to make that happen?
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. Saurabh, there's a thought here.
Yeah.
There's a clear thought here. He says that, we need the best of the Chinese and Indian students, because these students go back to India and, in his words, they become multi-billionaires employing thousands and thousands of people. He says they should be doing that in America instead.
Arnab, there are two things. I'm glad that you've taken up this issue, and this is obviously your understanding.
I'm losing you there on the video link. You're back. You're back now. You're back. I lost a few words in between.
Yeah. So I'm glad that you got this issue up. See, the reason why Donald Trump has done this is because he realizes that Indian Americans are a crucial vote bank. So far, there were a lot of fears because of his policy on immigration. Now the fact that he has clarified that skilled immigrants, and specifically Indian immigrants, because he knows a lot of these talented students are from India. By this announcement, he has made sure that some of the swing states, some of the Indian Americans, their vote can make a big difference to Donald Trump's tally. And if he has to win the November elections, the crucial votes will be of Indian Americans. That's one reason. Secondly, it's not that easy to get green card to everyone. So I think while, yes, India has to make all the changes to attract the best talent back to India, because a lot of these young people want to work in India. But the challenge is, as you said rightly, that we have situations like the NEET exam happening. We don't have proper infrastructure to support some of the best talented people, the domain experts. You talked about geopolitics. You talked about, whether it's AI engineers. If we create the talent pool here, we create opportunities. Some of these young people will also be coming back to
India. But he is very strategic. Trump is very strategic. Trump is very strategic. You have to give it to him. I agree there's a political angle, but there's also a thought here. I want to go to Abhijit next. Abhijit, see, he wants the best. He says, I want to make America great again. He knows that his next term, when he gets it, is going to be his last term. He's going to go all out. So he's saying, I'm going to give an automatic green card. Automatic green card may mean that suppose you're a student from a middle-class family, you can't afford 4 to 5 crores, which it costs for a 4-year degree minimum in the United States. Students will take huge loans. Go to America not to study in that university, because they'll say, okay, if I go to Princeton, or I go to MIT, or I go to Stanford, or I go to Harvard, then I am automatically getting that green card. And then I become a citizen. So the person is lost for us. So we can't discount this. I mean, we can't underplay this, can we?
Yes, indeed. It's a huge incentive for Indians to now go to the US and study, take out big loans and get out of India, because the Indian education system is absolutely abysmal. Everybody wants to escape this. If we had a better education system and better opportunities here, would be different. So Indians will be incentivized to go there. And Trump obviously has a domestic political reason for doing this. There's a massive influx of illegals from every country into the US. More than 7 million illegal immigrants in the past 3.5 years. So 24 will probably be the last election actually decided by US citizens. That's what Elon Musk says. So he wants to get the Indian vote. There are lots of Indians over there, and they want obviously more Indians to come in. So that's one of the reasons he's doing this.
Abhijit, what if he follows this up? What if he actually does this, say in the first 3 months of his administration? Are we going to sit and watch? The best of Indian minds will go.
Oh, yes. What can the Indian government do? I think the Indian government should have done something to reform the education system or taken steps. There is this new education policy 2020, which is in the works, but that's not really going to address anything.
We have run out of time.
Absolutely.
Abhijit, it's not only about the education system, it's also about the opportunity after that. Suppose today, a 23, 24, 25-year-old Indian wants to serve the country. What will they do? Sit for an UPSC exam as 60% reservation, then there's hardly a chance, and then there is the kind of horrible NEET system, the NTA, your entire future is in doubt. I think this NEET issue has not just made students who are applying for medical insecure, it would make someone in UGC NET insecure, it would make somebody for the joint entrance exam insecure, for the CLAT insecure. So it's had a cascading effect. You know, this is dangerous. Professor Nalapat, Trump wants wealth creators. He is saying on day one on my new administration, I will carry out the largest deportation in American history. I will remove immigrants, especially illegal immigrants who are committing crimes, stealing jobs and government resources, and his words, poisoning the blood of the United States. On one side that. Then he's saying, oh, but I want those best Indian students who go to places like Harvard and MIT to get automatic green cards after their graduation. There's a business logic here.
Well, Arnab, my worry is that Harvard, MIT, and other universities, they're extremely well endowed, and they have very strong financial support. They are, if they go the route of giving a lot of scholarships, for example, to Indian students, the United States security system is a little wary of Chinese students because the potential that some of them may be serving as in a role other than students, but Indian students are welcome.
Yeah.
And if that were to happen, there's no doubt that it would mark a very significant change for the simple reason that if you try and block all immigration, illegal immigration, yes. Now what's happening is that illegal immigration is uncontrolled, legal immigration is being blocked, and legal integration into the country is being blocked. I think Trump, as a good businessman, he is basically saying, I'll enforce a crackdown on illegal immigration and ensure that legal immigrants are given a green card and a pathway to success in the United States. You're quite right about that. And may I say that, you know, it's very important that we get our systems in place.
You see,
there is such a thing as possibly over-centralization. The United States has quite a decentralized system. It's serving the country well. So if you over-centralize in a country the size of India and the complexity of India, then
we are not doing enough.
Then 1% or 1% of individuals in the system can completely damage the integrity of the entire system.
It's also telling me that he's investing in a future extremely premium demographic dividend, Sushant. He is not willing to give H-1B category visas, for example, very easily to a 45 or 50-year-old Indian who would have children and aging parents to continue to live and work in the United States. He's going to be very stingy with those. But to a 23, 24-year-old graduate of an MIT or Princeton, he's rolling out the red carpet. So he is doing this with an intention.